Hello everyone, UF here, and I made Mark II, UniStock Mark II. In this video I would like to show you what was the concept, why I made it, and what's the features. I built this gun stack with a couple of rules in mind. Some of them are new, some of them are old, but I guess they are all applied to everything that we made, yeah? So for me, the first rule would be stability. Yeah, gun stack should be stable in hands and against the shoulder. And we're gonna go back to this later when I'm gonna speak about what magnets are and stuff. But second rule that I believe will always be true: avoid any occlusion. So your controller should be seen by your headsets and vice versa. So there is no disruption in the connection, because if you're gonna have some obstacles that are gonna cover your sensors, you might expect some floating. Yeah, this is just how it goes. That's why I followed on the basic rule of making a bottom mounted gun stack. I'm not saying that the top mounted gun stacks are worse or anything, because everybody has his own preference if it's about the gun stacks. But in my opinion, this rule of that's pretty old should be also in this compliant to my gun stack. So yeah, that's why it's a bottom mounted gun stack. This thing is a weighty thing, yeah. Without the controllers, this is of course magnetic gun stack, so I can take it off. Without the controllers, this thing weighs 960 grams, and without the butt, it goes to 932, something like this. So yeah, that's slightly less than kilogram on your hand, on your dominant hand. Not at all times, but when you're in the action. So this has to be considered. But I believe this is not. I mean, it does weigh. So keep this in mind if you want to make the gun stack. Two basic rules. The second one that is not covering also pretty much follows the third rule that I put upon myself, and it's really actually not very much exploited in our gun stack making reality. Nothing should be interrupting you in real life. So only thing we should care about is the positions of your hand and your butt, because this is what we feel. So if we took like a 2D plane of what is in the way of the controllers, in my belief it should be nothing. Everything that is in reality, in our reality, might be interrupting. Yeah. So yeah, bottom mounted gun stacks, of course, they have the bottom rail, which always was interrupting, and everybody who played Mark I for the first time always had this interruption with the rail. So I decided to make it kind of 3D, and now I'm left-handed, so this look like this. So now my controller can go. I have my plane of the gun stack like in 2D. I have shoulder, I have controllers, and I have controllers, and I can move here, and also, which is pretty important, also the butt of the controller is moved to the right, so my hand also is not interrupting with the gun stack. So I was trying to avoid all the gun stack, in virtual reality. Also, your dominant hand also has some freedom for like a bolt action and stuff. This had lots of implication on the first rule, the stability, because when I went 3D, it turns out that having it stable, unfortunately now I have this. Well, again, I'm going to speak about this rail particularly. Very, very good thing. I've noticed that forces are totally messed up, and I really wanted to have a shotgun. So if I had a 1 centimeter aluminium rail, it would be good for stable gun stacks like ARs and stuff. But once I was going shotgun, everything was messed up. It was clogging. Yeah, forces that I didn't know was introduced to me, so I had to deal with them. Luckily, I found this rail, which is linear railway for 3D printers, pretty much, and it has ball bearings. This works like a charm. We're gonna go to shotguns and stuff later. The rule number 3, or the next rule, I was not focused on the kilograms, but I was focused on stability to hold everything in one hand and have the cups pretty much be fused to the controllers, because weight of this, yeah, that's why I needed to focus on super connection with the controllers, because I'm moving it like crazy. If you ever play with me, you know that I'm doing some nades, and not always I'm doing it freehand, so it has to have some rigidity, yeah, rigidity. So I want to show you how the controllers looks like in the cups, but they are two different ones. So it's impossible to change from left hand to right hand. If it's left-handed, then it's left-handed. If it's right-handed, then it's right-handed. So let us see. Okay, first of all, sorry for the table. This is where everything happens, so it's pretty much destroyed. So the differences are as follows. My dominant controller has magnets set in V shape. Like you can see that it's like this. So it's gonna fit into the cradle of the cup on the gun stack. The front controller, my right hand, is shaped in like a Z shape with additional this part here, and this is done because when I'm approaching the gun stack, this magnet repels the one that goes on the above and makes me bump to my magnet that is higher. So this one meets higher magnet on the gun stack, this one meets lower. And magnets are opposing where they shouldn't be mounting, and they are attracting only when they shoot, which is expelling the size of magnetic field that it's actually faster to mount it when you have this additional magnetic field, which is pretty neat. So let's start with dominant hand. You can see that this one has also those two holes, and those two holes are my blocking devices. My system for permanent locking. So last time I had an aluminium rail going through the middle and magnets on the sides. This time I have magnets inside, and the blocking system goes on the sides, which means that there is no wobble in this axis. And because Mark 1 had this problem where it has this wobble, I didn't like it. Now this time around there is no wobble, also because it's going through all the system. Also this wobble is pretty much safe. So I achieved this stability of my system by going by this system, and yeah, it pretty much works. So also what you were seeing is definitely this belt. Yeah, this is a steel belt that is being used for pipes, and I went this far because I really needed the connection that is as perfect as it can be. Okay, so I also want to show you what's inside the cup, how it looks like, and how it actually sets in. So those two, this plastic parts, this is one thing, but this one is slightly further, so you can fit other Quest controllers. It's gonna fit for every Quest 2, Quest 3, Quest Pro. No problem. I'm screwing it. I don't need much. I can see that there is this belt here that moves, and it's still gonna gonna catch, because the insides of those two walls are painted with the rubber paint, and this is also very crucial to do because plastic itself will slip down the gun stack. It's kind of dirty. Sorry. Let's not show this. Yeah, and fitting it here. And I'm usually holding like this, so it won't slip anyway. And I'm tilting, screwing it, just so I can feel the tension that the screw don't want to go any further. I don't be very harsh on it, because you don't want to destroy the thread there. Yeah, so until it's not moving like that. And this is perfect, and this will hold the whole kilogram and all the forces that I have putting on the gun stack. I didn't have any failure. This is perfect. Now front hand, the magnet, as we spoke, the magnets are like they are because of the different approach to the gun stack, and also you can see a screw here, which is the recent hack that I found out. This is the automatic press. And this is good for snipers and for changing guns with my gun stack system. I'm gonna talk about it more. But yeah, this is the newest hack, and I'm so surprised that this works so well, because there is no way that I can even. Okay, now let's check how everything looks in my hand. So if I grab it, you can see that I have like about a centimeter from the right hand, from the right part of hand to the screw inches, and there is like a good centimeter more of it, 2.5 centimeters from here to there. Yeah. So yeah, I was afraid that this might be large, but definitely I have way enough space. So if you have, you would have to have huge hands. Wet. You would have to have huge hands to actually, feel this. And that is why I went with this, because it's impossible for me to reach it, and it holds like a vice, so it's not movable. And okay, the lever. So the lever is just a screw that is put inside the belt and the plastic and the controller. Once you slide it in, you just hold the screw, and it's gonna nicely and tightly fit there. And now there is slight friction that does not gonna move it, but it's light enough so you can move it in your one hand, yeah, which is amazing, because now you can leave the gun stock on the controller on the gun stock, and the game will think that you've pressed the button. You might consider it cheating, I don't know. There also is toggle grab in some games. You just also can do this without this lever, but yeah, I've heard that somebody would like to snipe this way, so just put it on the magnets and do this, this action with his body, and then snipe. So yeah, this is here, and it's not even interrupting, and it really helps with also one thing that I'm gonna talk about later. All right, so we've talked about the controllers. Now let's talk about why I wanted to have it magnetic and the permanent. So yeah, I've also talked about me swinging it and stuff, but also this stuff, swinging it, working with magnetic, is not always what you wanted. Yeah, sometimes you want to get rid of it, which is pretty obvious. Yeah, everybody else, every other gun stock that does allow to relieve your controllers, gives you belts. Now, I don't like them. I really don't like them. I've never liked them. Yeah, that sucked. So I made this key. It's a holster that opens out automatically my system of auto lock, and allows you to release the controller. And later, if you lift it up with just your weight with the magnets, it's gonna lock itself. Yeah. I've been sitting on this for quite some time, and I've been trying to get the exact angle of the slider, so it's just seamlessly opens and closes, and the way that you are going to approach it in VR. And I have to say, when I'm not stressed, there is 10 out of 10 hooks every time. It works beautifully. Of course, when you're stressed, stuff is getting a bit fuzzy. But I'm really satisfied with what I achieved here, and yeah, this is pretty neat stuff. Yeah, so I've eventually totally ditched the cables, because now when I'm freehanding, my gun stock is on my hip. Actually, I want to show you. This is done because I don't want to have to release my left hand from anywhere. So I do this. And you just notice that I hooked it up on the hook, and when I'm lifting it up, I'm holding it to my body, and this part just disappears into gun stock, and I have standard gun stock. Now you can see that this controller has this plastic in front. Can you see it? Yeah. So this one is to prevent me to going anywhere. I'm just hitting here, and I'm sliding inside. And I don't have to press anything. This is the most important, because now I don't do this, because this is amazing. Or even if I do this and leave it on my hand, and I have my totally free, I can have a drink. Actually, I'm gonna have a bit now. Cheers. And now I can operate in my real life. So this is pretty important stuff for me also. Yeah, this is how the holster works, and yeah, this reduces any cables. Pretty cool stuff. Okay, let's back to the Alright, holster is pretty cool. I would like to show you more in the game how it looks like. Maybe this video, maybe later. We'll see how it goes. Now I want to explain what is all this downstairs of the controller is all the mechanism. So what are you seeing is eccentric levers. Those were to open 3 axes that you can redirect your controllers. Yeah, both of them have the same system, so all of them can turn in those 3 axes. Where the front controller here, open lever, tilts the controller this way. It tilts it pretty much all the way. You can lock it anywhere, and you lock it with your palm, pressing it with down, pushing it slightly more with your hand. This is done with the levers because it's the fastest way to actually open, change, lock, open, change, lock. Now screws just don't work this well, and since my lever has a 4mm jump, it really grabs the 10 degrees jump of the wheel, and you can do quick switch in the game, and have it really in the same position always. So this is this axis. If you're gonna open the bottom one, you can turn it this way, and it also goes all the way around. Lock it down, and if you're gonna open this one, which is in front of you, you can tilt your gunstock like this. And I was surprised. Because Mark II had. Let me set the position for Mark II. It was this and this. Yeah, so this was standard 30-degree every controller in line. And once I got Mark II, I very quickly changed this position of the front hand. My way to go is always slightly forward. I always tilt like 20 degrees to my hand to the right, and then I always slightly bend it lower like this, because this is just the follow-up of my hand, which totally relieved my pain for the wrist. This was amazing when I finally had this. And also, since I don't use muscles, I only aim. So this was pretty good, pretty neat stuff, yeah. And I also, this is what I am doing now all the time. I am using less of the levers on the dominant hand, but this thing, when you change this, life changes, everything changes. The position of the gunstock, the position of the gun, which has two cool implications. One is you can change for the comfort of your body. If you don't like the tilt of the controller being too far, you can change it, to have it more straight. But then everything else has to can change with that. Yeah. Second one is some games are not. I don't understand also why is that, because my gunstock is in straight line, if you can see. Yeah. It's controller, and then butt. And some games want you to go either further or even closer, yeah? So I should be able to move to the right and left. You can with this tilt, of course, and I do this to comprehend, but also you can tilt the gun by tilting your dominant hand, and then it's gonna straighten it up and make it in line, yeah? And so those two features that I've noticed are pretty cool. And also, what was pretty neat, when I used a handgun. So for handgun, I usually lose this because you need the agility of turns, and I tilted the controller to the left on my dominant. I tilted the aiming to the right, like this. I did more deep jump, and then I moved it, of course, close to the hand. And now I have like kind of holding the gun. It feels like I'm holding the gun. The controllers are in this position. Also, sometimes it's good to tilt it like this, and it looks like this. And from this position, in your game, your hands will be in the proper position. Now you do the lever. You're locking the lever, and from here, I was able to set up my butt, where the controllers are always holding the handgun. And usually for the handguns, which is pretty obvious, your controllers are in front, so my butt went below the gunstock. Now Mark II can do all the text being the 3D. Mark II can do like pretty much 180 going around. So I did this, and I also push my butt and tilt it so it will counterweight my weight of the carrying gun. So this is usually why you're gonna use the butt that tilts, and also we'll get to this. So I achieved this, and now it feels I was slightly closer. Oh, I have a shotgun too now. So this is, I just turned off the shotgun. I can go even closer, and now first time I was using handgun, and it was pretty awesome. So yeah, this thing can do handguns, and I believe it's going to be in every game, because you can actually, you know, set them apart and make it like you're holding the gun, you know, like this. This is pretty neat. Okay, so let's talk about shotgun. There is also another rule that I like to follow. Devs know what they're doing. Meaning, if the developer of the game sets his position for this particular gun in this position, they probably know what they're doing. And this is really seeable in clay hunt. When I went to pump some clay and some pigeons, I love them. I love when they fall. I've set my gun stack to whatever they wanted, yeah. And it turned out that the position of the controllers it's not pretty much achievable from standard gun stack that I had, and I want to show you why. On this rail on the connection, before I had only standard position, which was the controller is set in the same line. Let me take it out entirely. In the same line with the front controller. So this is pretty much most of the gun stack are doing the exact same situation. Mark 1 had it, and it did, yeah, and this is standard for most of the gun stack. When you have controller that lays in line with another controller, and then from them you can, if you're gonna tilt, everything, the position of controllers changes. But there are gun stacks that lift the aiming hand higher, and it produces in game the feeling, or maybe more like a glitch, that your hand is inside the gun, which kind of has sense, because you know, when you hold the gun you actually hold this position, yeah. So yeah, I've also wanted to have this, and I designed this thing, yeah. You can move all the rail up by there is a 3 degree. I'm thinking about maybe adding one more or two, but the 1 degree will move the controller pretty much all the way up, like here. So if it's now here, it's going to move like this, and this is read in games like holding actually a gun. So in Clay Hunt, it was very visible that I was not able to reach. I mean, I was able to reach and grab, because that's why gun stack work actually, but it really felt like I should lift the aiming hand. So I designed this, and it worked, and it worked very well. And from then on, I actually go into other games with this setup. Now, if I would go to Clay Hunt, I would want my controllers to. This one is usually at this tilt. Sometimes it's more. No, I guess with this setup would be this. So it would be like this. I would tilt my front hand like that. Also, I would do this tilt, so I can have like a shotgun feel. You can go all the way. You can go flat, like this. And then shotgun usually is with the butt. It's usually pretty much like flat. Pretty much makes it pretty much square. Sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower, depending on the game. And the butt, you want to set it up slightly under the angle, so it can lean on your arm. And from there, turning on the shotgun, you are tilting 2 times the rubber. You are undoing the lever. It blocks it here on the in this friction system, and now pump. And the pump, when I've got the first time the rail, this is uncomparable. This thing is like moves like a butter. And now you can see that I especially did 2 loops at this point, because I would easily hit my hand. This is like full pump, and if I would release entirely, I'm gonna ruin it. So yeah, because the pump action works so well, you might go too far. But now the movement is super smooth. So thanks to this rail, everything changed. This made it for pump action in clay hand. This is a treasure. This thing is a treasure. Of course, you know, this does not reduces any ability for the gunstock to be an SMG, a handgun if you saw before. So there is a shotgun. Also, you can be LMG, of course. For LMG, you're gonna move the butt higher, and your controller is also gonna tilt. So because LMG is a big gun, I want to move it all the way up, like this. I want to tilt handle like this, so it will be under this angle, and I want to tilt even more my front controller, and even more my dominant controller, and even more my front controller, and now it lays like this. And also, let's talk about another part, the butt, the cheek rest. I was stupid enough not to believe that this works, and this really works and really helps. I'm stupid. What can I say? It is takeable because sometimes when you play like Pavlov, a fast-paced game, it might sometimes be unnecessary. You just fucking, you know, just moving fast, killing. You know, it depends on you. And I sometimes for clay hunt, this is dream. And so what you're going to do is just slide it in, and this is also done on eccentric lever. So you can see that there's a hook, and now it's pressed inside the cavity for the cheek rest. So we can take it out. Now now it's loose, and you can slide the butt. Now you can slide it all the way, or set it up in position in some height. I want to have some height, usually for games. So I lock it, push it all the way, and now it's solidly fixed with the butt. Of course, it also tilts with it, so that's cool. And also, which is also pretty neat, you can unscrew. Oh my! I have wet hands. Shit. Yeah, so you can move it up and down, and also you can unscrew this small screw here and tilt it separately from the setup of the gunstock, which also happens pretty often for handguns. I was using this on the beginning, and then system of my standard system that's everywhere on this gunstock. It's locking it tightly, and you have that's a really weird position, but you know. Yeah, that's thing you can do now. But if you've seen my previous gunstock, you might notice that this is pretty much like a remake, yeah. Because now, yeah, it's now of course in 2D. So how can I show this? It's in 2D. In 3D, it means that it misses this part that moves along, misses those two parts. So you can go like that. And also, I finally work out the system of auto retracting. So the rubber now is actually properly done, and it goes in better angle, so it actually shoots down. And now we can, if you want to set your position of the butt, you move your gunstock and just move yourself to find your position of X and Y, which is pretty neat because you know you don't have to push it. You're just doing everything with one lever. So one lever, setting position, lock. And this time around I've did the aluminium against two steel parts. When you lock it, it's really, you're gonna probably break your arm first. So it's really locked, yeah? And I can move it up and down and sides. So the system of changing your gun has to do with this screw that works as a lever that we spoke about. So now imagine, I'm getting new gun. I found it in the grass. Yeah, I'm grabbing it. It's a shotgun. It's a AR. I'm having set up for like a musket gun, so like a shotgun. So probably I'm gonna change it to the more 30 degree. And from here, I want to see how the controllers, without the grabbing, lays on the graphics of the gun. If it's close, you can grab it like this, and from here, the basic setup. Can you see the sight? If you see the sight, lock it. Try to manipulate, and from here, when you grab, you might want to set your butt. where do you want to feel it, which is pretty cool. And then I would be going for like tilts, like how to totally reduce amount of muscles used into holding the gun. So, you know, make it very comfortable. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. So yeah, comfort here was the key. I really wanted to have it comfortable. I really don't want to hit anything anymore, and I really don't want it to wobble. So now everything, once it's locked, it actually is locked pretty much. So also about how the system of locking looks like. If you would look for any lever here, if I'm gonna open this one, for example, you can see that on the other side there is a steel washer, and it's pretty white. And you know what is this? 1 Norwegian crown, because it has M3 hole and a lot of surface, and I was not able to find that kind of washers and that would press, because my system has some size, so it actually grabs well and not ever let go. And yeah, I've used 1 Norwegian kroner as a lever, as a reinforced eccentric lever. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so let's talk about the magnets. So I've used a couple of magnets. For the cups there is 2. There is a square magnet, 10 by 40 by 4 millimeters, and it has 12 kilogram weight. And there's 1, 2, and at the cup also is another 3, 4. So there is 12 by 12 by 12 by 12, and there is smaller round magnet that is 5 by 15, and it has 5 kilogram weight. So this is another, and it is also 1, 2, 3, 4 on the gun stock. So there is like 8 magnets that cooperate each other. They they are set in so like I was speaking before, that it repels this one, but it's you know, sucks this one and this one and the other one. Now this is the most force you probably will ever see on the gun stock, yeah. And also it's just a surface. There is no thing, because I like the first idea of just a surface magnetic. It's supposed to be helpful, not, you shouldn't be doing anything else but just follow to the magnets, and it should lock. So the intricacy of this shape was not enough to make my cup really solid on the magnet. Now it's as solid as it can possibly be, and I've achieved it because with gluing this 1 millimeter slice of plastic here and another one here, and when they meet, they very nicely cooperate, and they block itself. And because the magnets are so strong, it's, if you're gonna push it, press it to yourself, it locks it automatically. But this only locks it when you push it to yourself. So any other movement will easily remove it from the magnets. So now it makes it very stable, and at the same time it makes it easy to remove. So this was my like pretty much latest invention. Very small thing, and really changed the stability. Because now I want to also talk about the stability. I saw one stock with this feature in the bag, where you can grab his gun stock and you can move them where you want. Then why would you need a gun stock then? Well, if it moves so wobbly, every single move that I don't do with the gun stock will change everything. So if I would like want to just even throw it for the handgun and to try to grab it back, this position will not be the same, which makes finding it even worse. Without the magnet, it's a disaster. That's why I have a magnet. This is normal for me, that you want to help yourself, not make it try to grab something that you don't see. Here you have magnets and it just works. It just works. I wanted to talk about one stock because it's not a good gun stock, guys. Okay, enough. What else do I want to say? The butt tilts like it did tilt before. So it goes, if you push it back, you can tilt it. The jump is 6 millimeter, and there is quite a few. and I haven't been. I was able to set the gun to every position of it. So handgun requires me this. Some LMG requires me this tilt. So yeah, you can totally totally use this. And you can see also those screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have 3 on this side. Those are stuff that you can set permanently. Your size of the butt, and you can side it out outside and the other side, so you can fit your arm. And mine, I've actually have slightly bigger than with Mark 1, but this thing can be like this much small. Really, this can be like 10 centimeters. I'm not a fan of a small butt because I have a system where whenever I aim, whenever I go without aiming, I mean, whenever I just run, this triangle fits to my pit, and whenever I aim, this stopping block lays on my arm, and this is what I would advise you to do. And from here you can either have your cheek rest or not, because this does not this much matter, because this position you were aiming even before you aimed, because if you had it here, you just draw, everything is set for you, then you shoot. So yeah, the size of the butt very much matters for me, and it should matters for you. Okay, sorry for them. Sorry. Also, on those main rails, aluminum ones, you can see there are another holes here, and I'm thinking about drilling another set, because this thing can move separately and has more space behind itself, so I can actually, go like this. So I could actually give another setup to give. So this is just that, another setup, but also I've noticed that I sometimes like to, if the more guns in this game want me to have the butt closer to the controller, I can just move those two on another jump, and I will have more space to work around. Yeah. Also, you can also see that here on this system, there is three holes upstairs, and also there is one in the middle, and you can also I don't know if you can see it. That's going to be hard to show you. There is also another hole here. Anyway, you can move this one forward 2 centimeters if there is a gun that is even bigger than the standard setup of the gun stack. So this probably might be usable for duck season, because they want the controllers forward. But I was able to play with duck season with this setup. So this is in case, if I was able to achieve some adjustability in some point, I went for it. Most proud I am is after all this, things that you can set to some weird stuff, it's still really stable. That's because this rail is a steel rail, and this means that it weighs. That is why I have 960 grams of a gun stock. With your controller like this, you carry now slightly above 1 kilogram on your hand, and the stability is there, avoidability is there, lack of occlusion is there. My rules have been met, and also the holster really satisfied me. I finally don't have to strap myself to anything. You probably noticed why I don't do any straps, because if I can put it on my holster, I just can live my life outside. Yeah, let me show you once again what I was trying to do with it. So the holster is movable. You can tilt the of the hook itself 10 degrees, and you can move your opening device forward and backward. Yeah, because this is on screws. Yeah. I'm going to add a pad of the plastic, because you can feel that, and I don't want it. I'm going to add a pad of the plastic and probably put some lather or something, some sponge. So you do this. Sorry for being fat. And here it's also on the back. Can you see? There is a hook that hooks up on my sliding lever, like opens and it hooks like here. Okay, so now it works like this. I mean, look at this. Okay, so you see, what we want to do with the holster, we want to find our position where our body wants to hit the corner with this part, with this in front part. I have to show it to you. This thing, and this thing moves away and it hooks on it. So I'm hitting it like this. I can move it up. I will feel that it's clicking. I'm pushing it down and it's locked. Now to lift up, I just carry gun stock close to my body, and it's going to lock itself by this curve. So like this. And now I don't need to. I can really strap myself to the controller. Sometimes you can see that it's not locking itself all the way, and this is not a big problem because it always goes to this is where it wants. So it always goes through the whole system. Yeah. So even if it's not locked, even if it's this is totally enough, because even then you're gonna run and you're gonna go close to your body, and then so it's like this. I believe this is the most like freehand friendly gun stock you can achieve. There is no cables. Simple as that. Alright. Yeah, that's a holster, that's a gun stock. It's time to edit it. Alright, thanks guys for watching this video. I need to now try to make it watchable. As for yeah, thanks for watching till all the way till the end.